Hi, everyone. We're going to be starting in a minute. We're just going to let a couple of stragglers join.
Welcome, welcome. We can see you all jumping in.
So while everyone's joining, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet and operate on. So that's the Pambalong clan of the Awabakal Nation for me. And I acknowledge and pay my respect to the past, present and future traditional custodians and elders of these nations. Also, I extend these to your nation. I do take responsibility in the continuation of cultural, spiritual and educational practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, and I acknowledge sovereignty was never ceded. Great. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura and welcome to our first Defence Pathway webinar. I'm the Veteran Pathway Advisor at the University of Newcastle, so thank you for taking the time to join us today. Before we get started, I do just want to do a couple of quick housekeeping. So we have muted your microphones for the session, but we do have a team member on our Q&A chat. So if you do have any questions that you want to address now, you can throw them in. If we don't get to them during the session, then we'll try and address them at the end during our question and answer time. So yeah, please feel free to ask us anything. Over to you, Peter.
Thank you, Laura. And yes, I'm Peter. I'm actually here in the student recruitment team. So my usual role is here to welcome our future students thinking about coming to uni, no matter what their pathway is. But the great thing about this is I'm also a reservist with the Air Force. I'm based at Williamtown. So it's been great to have someone with that understanding of what I guess you're all sort of where your headspace is and the things available to you as well. So the session here is going to run till 6. Don't stress if you miss anything. We're going to send you out the recording, so we won't be offended if you need to jump out. We will make it available. And just briefly, I'd like to introduce you Matt and Graham. Give us a wave, guys. They are both defence veterans, but also current students here at our university, and they will later share their experience of transitioning from their service to study and a bit more about themselves and their pathway. So thank you.
Thanks, Peter. So our defence pathway at the University of Newcastle includes recognition for entry. So that's your recognition of your rank in service as a selection rank equivalency. So it's an ATAR equivalent. We have direct application entry for most of our undergraduate programs and postgraduate programs. We also have credit opportunity for your defence learning, transition assistance, so that's support when you transition into study, things like improving your referencing, finding out how to engage with our careers service. And then also additionally, we have a really supportive community. So we have actually Matt and Grant leading the way with our student-led club group, and lots of other fantastic connections for you to make here today.
All right, so we're proud to support current and former ADF members and their families as they transition from service to academic and professional success. So defence members bring unique skills and perspectives that enrich our university community, and we really value that. So who benefits from, I guess, this new pathway and framework that we've got here now? So first of all, it's our veterans that are planning their transition now. But it's also current serving members who want to upskill or complete your professional training while still serving. So programs like the DAS or the Defence Assisted Study Scheme make this possible with some flexibility with timetables and prioritising face-to-face class times, etc. Your personal networks, like the partners that are posted there with you, because we get you come as a collective. But also, families or networks, you might have some high school leavers with you as well, and some other options with early entry, etc. So it's about creating pathways that will work for you and your circumstances.
Great. So let's chat about study eligibility. So at the University of Newcastle, current and former Australian Defence members are provided a selection rank equivalent based on their defence rank and service. So with this, you can apply for direct entry into a range of our undergraduate programs. So if you've completed the Australian Armed Services General Training and at least 1 year of service, you'll be provided a selection rank equivalency. If you've attained a higher level of rank within the ADF, then you can actually gain a higher selection rank equivalency.
Yeah.
So our program options. So we have lots of undergrad programs, 130 to be exact. So studying at the university can really open your doors. It's not just about getting a degree. We realise it's about gaining knowledge and skills, experiences, and it's setting you up for today's really fast-paced world. So with those 130 undergrad degrees and diplomas and other pathway options, we believe there'll be something for everyone. Whether you want to build on what you already know or explore a completely new field, these programs will give you a really strong foundation for your next career. A degree can boost your job prospects, obviously, move into higher paying roles, but it's also about growth and advancement. So studying at the university is really about doing something that matters to you, I believe. So it gives you a chance to follow your interests, build new skills, and make an impact. So we offer programs that are in areas that can connect directly to defence and defence industry, like engineering, aviation, leadership and strategy. Otherwise, if you're thinking about another area, obviously these programs can also align you with different roles outside of defence. So these programs give you knowledge and credentials to make it happen.
So you can see on this slide, we just wanted to go into some other areas that might be valuable or relevant to you. So environmental and coastal studies, for example, science and technologies, you can see there the type of knowledge that you might already have and the roles that you can go into that are relevant and, you know, right up your alley in terms of skill sets as well.
So in health and wellbeing, there are pathways into nursing, allied health and rehabilitation roles. In education and support, you can move into teaching, learning support and even psychology pathways. So these areas are all making a real difference in other people's lives and setting yourself up for a pretty rewarding career.
So we just wanted to touch upon our medicine program, or the JMP, because we are having a lot of interest in this. So if you are interested in medicine, we'll be looking at entry. 2026 starting has closed, so we're looking at our 2027 applications, but there is a more complex process, and we just wanted to step that out, so you've got plenty of time for next year to be in the running for the soonest possible start. So step one is to register for the UCAT ANZ and sit the test at a nominated site. There is a fee for this, but you know, skin in the game makes it more important, right? Step two is to apply online for the joint medical program, and then step three is to submit your application. So we can help you with some more info on this, and it's great to see so many people showing interest in this program. But yeah, if you're interested in medicine, don't also discount the other things that are closely related, like biomedical sciences and other things like that too, if you sort of want to start straight away, but if medicine doesn't work out straight away.
And I just want to mention, don't forget, you can put questions into our Q&A if anyone's got any as we're going along. So for postgrad programs, they are a great way to upskill and advance your career, and we do have over 100 degrees. So the flexibility of this is to fit around your work-life study. It does have a little more flexibility like online study compared to undergrad. So it has a more stricter entry requirement. Most programs, you either need a diploma or bachelor to be completed, although there are several graduate certificates, including the graduate certificate into business administration, that don't require a diploma or bachelor, but rather 5 years in industry and industry experience. So postgrad studies has a really strong payoff. 95.9% of our graduates actually find employment within the first 4 months, and the median starting salary is $105,000. So that's actually above national average, so it's pretty good.
All right. So, one of the biggest advantages of studying at university is learning from the experts. So, our lecturers and researchers are leaders in their field. So, you're getting the insights that reflect the latest research and real world practice. So, here in leadership, strategy, and policy, we offer programs like the MBA, project management, business psychology, health management, and policy. These can lead to roles such as strategic policy advising, defense industry consulting, program manager, or change management specialist. So this gives you a bit of alignment to the things you might already be doing, especially in a leadership role or a team leader capacity, and hopefully some food for thought in our postgrad suite.
Thanks, Peter. So programs that prepare you for roles in emergency management, resilience, and environmental sustainability are critical to both national security and community safety. So we do offer actually quite a few postgrad options, including disaster risk and resilience, environmental management and sustainability, environmental law, clean energy, and construction management. And all of these programs can lead to civilian roles in emergency management, such as the Emergency Management Director or an environmental risk consultant, sustainability strategist. So, yeah, that's just to name a few. If you're interested in planning, risk management, building resilience in complex environments, these pathways can help you leverage your defence experience and transition into these leadership roles.
All right, so technology, data, and innovation, they're one of the fastest growing areas, and it's critical for defence and industry. We all know that. So these programs here on the screen cover fields like data science, AI, cybersecurity, fintech, and information technology. So graduates can move into roles such as being the Chief Information Security Officer, Defence Technology Strategist, data governance lead, innovation manager, or AI ethics and policy advising. So if you're interested in shaping the future of technology or leveraging your problem solving skills, these are high demand sectors, jobs of the future, as we say, and these programs provide that expertise and credentials to get you there.
Education and training programs are also ideal if you want to lead, teach, or influence policy. So, we do offer postgraduate options like leadership and management in education, primary and secondary education, and special and inclusive education. These programs can lead to roles such as a school principal, education policy advisor, defence education liaison, behaviour support specialist, and training and development manager. So, if you're passionate about shaping learning and support for others, then this is a really great pathway. And I know we'll hear from Grant about his education pathway shortly. I do note some programs that have the asterisks might mean that they require a bachelor level to gain entries.
Alrighty, we're nearly there with these slides, so you're doing well, gang. In terms of health leadership and wellbeing, it is critical for both community and defence sectors. So programs including public health, workplace health and safety, mental health and wellbeing, and professional psychology. So we're seeing a lot of people that are currently defence members or people transitioning can see the link and how helpful and relevant this is going to be right now. So graduates can move into roles like a veteran mental health advocate, a trauma-informed practice consultant, a health policy advisor, perhaps a director of wellbeing programs, or correctional health manager. So these careers make a real impact on people's lives while offering strong professional opportunities. So just note some of these programs require, same again, that bachelor level of studies prior to postgraduate level entry. But if this is your end game, we can help you start with that entry level too.
So we do have some other pathway opportunities if you think undergrad and postgrad aren't for you. So we do have the Open Foundation, diplomas, and your PUG opportunity. And this could also be if you don't receive the selection rank equivalency for your dream degree, or you feel like you'd like to have the opportunity for some foundational learning before going into the dream degree. So diplomas are designed to provide you with supported study experience and qualifications upon completion. So it is also accredited based pathway. So you do actually have the opportunity to get credit into over 70 of our undergraduate programs. And you gain a qualification, you upskill, and it can help you find your path to uni in just 1 year. So we currently have 11 diplomas that you can choose from, focusing on key areas including engineering, science, business, arts, social science, and education. Our diplomas are designed to provide you with a more supported start into university study, and by completing, excuse me, a diploma at UON, you are guaranteed that entry into 70 selected programs.
So Open Foundation, I think, personally is a jewel in our crown. We're very well known for being experts in this and leading the way. And since 1974, we've been running this free program to enable anybody that wants to come to university, no matter whether they got their ATAR or not, or if it was high enough, or they just needed that clean slate, I guess, or equivalent score. This is great for you. So, and Grant will talk a bit more about this. So it really helps you develop skills. Sorry, Matt. You'll be able to develop skills that you need, not just to gain entry, but succeed at uni and beyond. So it gives you that support. It's inspired to set you up for success. And we actually know that Open Foundation students historically actually outperform those others that come straight in, because they've taken their time to get used to the system. They know what they're doing. And the great thing about Open Foundation is it gives students that taste of university life before, really committing and being all in. It's also flexible. So you can do this as quick as 6 months if you go all in and just make it your mission, or if you've got other stuff going on, like you're still working and family, etc., you can do it part-time. So you can dial in from anywhere in Australia, even though it's our program, or you can come face-to-face and have that mix of blended learning. But the great thing is that our program is recognised as entry to most universities in Australia. So you might want to do the Open Foundation program with us if you're, here in Newcastle right now, and then know, right, my next post in a couple of years is elsewhere, but I can use this as entry into that relevant university. So yeah, very proud of it. And the equivalent for our Indigenous students is called your PUG. So it's been around for a while, but we have tailored this to our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. It's just got that extra level of support, and along with the Wallatuki Institute, it's a bit like a home away from home, and it's great to see them thrive. So that's also there for those of you that find that relevant. And you only need to be 17 and above. So yeah, it's also great for young people that just need, if school's not for them, or you're actually, at that age, you can still jump in.
Thanks, Peter. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. We also have the Excellence Through Equity opportunity. So this is for anyone who hasn't completed any studies. So that includes diploma level. So it's a pathway to medicine. So it's through the Open Foundation, and we actually have 6 places reserved, so set aside for admission into our JMP program. So yeah, this is really exciting. It's fairly new. Obviously, students must satisfy the eligible criteria to be considered, but it's worth an investigation into if you are considering medicine.
Alrighty, now the good news is you can transfer degrees once you start. If it's not the right degree for you, or you need a plan B as a stepping stone. So once you're in at university, it's way easier to simply move around. And I say this to people all the time. Like I said, 30% will change in their first year. And that's because if you didn't get the marks for your first degree, pick something with a lower ATAR that's related, get some good grades, get some credits, etc., and then you'll be able to transfer as a stepping stone. Now, the other thing is you might start something like an engineering program and think mechanicals for you, and then learn more about environmental and think, oh my gosh, I actually find this more relevant. That's another example of where you don't know what you don't know until you start. But yeah, keep that in mind, to start somewhere that makes sense, knowing we can adapt and change as we go.
Great. So how to apply? We have 2 opportunities, so direct to university or through the University Admission Centre. So applying direct, what does that mean? It means that the university owns the portal. It doesn't cost you anything. We actually have portals for our Open Foundation, our undergraduate and postgraduate studies opportunities. And so it's a tailored pathway for individuals who aren't transitioning directly from high school. So that includes you guys, Australian Defence Force members, past and present. The only caveat is that unfortunately there are some programs that can't be applied this way, but we'll address that in a minute. So what you'll need when you apply, we do recommend that you actually have your service record long. Now, I do have some details here on how to attain that. We will send a copy of this slideshow out to you guys later. So that's really important because that's how you are getting your selection rank equivalency based on your service. It takes about 10 minutes to upload, and you can upload the certified copy of this document in the system, which I'll show you next. So this is the application front page. You need to put in your email and choose a password and put that in twice and select I am not a robot. Once you're in, you can see I've started a little online application here. We put in our personal information. The page is actually much longer than what I've shown you on the screen. It does ask you for your personal information. So you fill that in and then you say next. You can then put in your qualifications. So what I recommend is choosing your employment experience, and then from there selecting government administration and defence. Once you've filled all that information in, you can actually, at the bottom of that, attach your service record. Make sure it's certified. So then you come up to the preferencing piece. So how to preference? We do recommend choosing 3 programs. It does mean that you can have the opportunity to be considered for other programs if you don't get your first preference. So preference 1 should be your preferred degree. 2 and 3 should be similar degrees, but of a lower selection rank that can provide you a pathway into your preferred degree. Because as Peter mentioned earlier, you can transfer. We do have a rule that if you're not eligible for your preferred degree, you will be offered a pathway program or a lower ranked degree. And you have up to 7 days to accept your offer when it comes through. So this is what the preferencing piece looks like in the actual system. So here you can search the program that you're interested in or programs, and then you can add them into your preference. You then review the preferences, and then you go on to submit your application. It will show you all of the information that you've provided, and you can review that and make sure it's accurate before submitting. So that's just the bottom of that page to show you what it looks like down there. It'll show you if you haven't attached a document, it'll come up with a little icon to say it's not attached. Great. Over to you, Peter.
Rightio. So good news, nothing to lose. The application is free and only takes about 10 minutes. So you can upload your certified documents online. It's all through the portal. So as we started saying, using your defence experience. So this is to do with postgrad, sorry. So most postgrad programs, their admission criteria require proof of work, your work history, or some sort of a diploma level or higher credential. So as you're using your defence background, make sure you have your ADO service record long version ready as proof of service. You should also upload any other documents that demonstrate your training and skills, like your credentials that you received. I know you can look up your training lines in the back end when it ticks off all the things that you're relevant in as well, that kind of thing. And also upload things like any diplomas, certificates, and of course your resume, because that will also show, I guess, where the story started and more about yourself and things you might do outside of work too. So we also recommend a letter of support from your supervisor providing your work history with the ADF, or you might like to supply the following as your proof of work history. So your resume, which I just mentioned, your duty statement, which is your detailed work history, and your PAR. Yes, these things are now really important, and your performance appraisal report can actually be used. So that's great.
So I did mention earlier, unfortunately, there are a couple of programs that can't be applied through our direct free portal. And this is the list here. So it's mostly health, but 2 of our music and performing arts. And that might have to do with the way that they actually review you for the opportunity to study these programs.
They're often capped, these ones. So there's just a tighter sort of, I guess, requirement around the cutoff and the application process. So this is also the same for high school students using early entry. So don't take it personally. It's just these programs have been elevated as a tighter cap. Oh, still me. The good news is that UAC actually organises, it's the organisation that processes university applications for most New South Wales institutions, including ours. So if you would like to apply for a program on that list we just showed, it's still okay. We just need to do it through UAC. So there is a small fee to do this. However, you can actually have up to 5 preferences. So you can see there on the screen, in this sense, we've done our first 3 degrees as bachelors, and then we've gone for a diploma as our 4th preference because that's a lower ATAR, it's around a 50 mark. And then your 5th preference is open foundation, which is no ATAR. So this is really stacking the deck to ensure the waterfall kicks in, and worst case scenario, you'll end up getting probably your 5th preference, and we just work our way up from there.
Great. So we mentioned that there's some transition support at the university to help you with your studies. So this is not transition as you're leaving defence, but transition as you're coming into your studies at the university. So we offer new prep and bridging programs. These are really great programs that are free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's designed to help you prepare for your studies at university. So they introduce you to learning content, assessment styles that you'll encounter in your pathways or undergraduate programs. So they are actually for undergraduate students. They're flexible online and self-paced, and they really are perfect for anyone wanting to refresh their skills and kind of get an understanding for academic expectations before enrolling. Some of the courses can actually be studied concurrently while you're doing your coursework for your degree. As I said, they're free, they don't cost anything, but they'll give you that really good kind of understanding. But additionally, you can actually, some people can access them prior to commencing. So if you want to do some refreshers early on, and they're open, some of them are open to community as well. So that includes if you've got children or family who wouldn't mind the challenge. So things like academic writing and referencing, maths and science fundamentals, study strategies and time management are covered within these programs. Courses, and so we've got a couple listed: academic survival skills, writing for university, digital and AI literacies, and online tools for study at uni. And that's actually run by the library, that one. It's a really great one to get you to learn about all of the systems that we utilise at the university. So I really highly recommend that one. So additionally, we actually have some more academic support. So this is across pathways, undergrad and postgrad. So uni life, we know, connects you to lots of community groups, students, academics, researchers, industry professionals, but also lots of support staff with diverse backgrounds. And they're going to give you a really valuable network to learn from. So as a current and former ADF member, we really highly recommend accessing our range of free support services at the university. Things like support with your personalised assessments, so 24/7 feedback on assessments through our Studiosity program. This is run by our learning advisors, and they can actually do one-on-one sessions with you as well, help you with your academic writing and study skills. Additionally, we've got the library who do referencing. They'll do tours on how to utilise the library. There's still books in there, thankfully, but there's also a really big online database that you'll need to know how to research in. And they do one-on-one sessions as well, so that's really exciting. We also have lots of free personal support. So this is kind of I guess it's to complement the support that you might be getting through DVA or while you're also with Defence. But we do have free and confidential counselling, personal study-related kind of support, accessibility, which is our permanent and temporary disability support team. They can offer students plans to help them throughout their studies. We have an after-hours crisis line. We have GPs, which is great, that bulk bill students. We have student advocates if you need help navigating policies and procedures at the university. We have a wonderful chaplaincy team who do cover most faiths at the university, or so more broadly globally, and they provide support and guidance. And you also have a careers and employability team available to discuss your career goals, maybe your future plans, maybe you do get into that fourth preference and now you need to kind of navigate how to get into the dream job, the dream career. And the careers team are here to help you explore that. We also have some really great opportunities like iLead, mentoring programs, excuse me, and lots of other employment opportunities at the university while you're a student, which is great. So just a little bit deeper into the Defence Pathway support. So we are committed to providing guidance and support to you for your studies. And at the University of Newcastle, we do provide several free support services specifically for our current and former Defence members, and it's to support your academic and career goals. So we've got the Defence Student Support Program. It's an opt-in, and it means that we'll register you to receive proactive personal advice, things like opportunities on academic flexibility, perhaps class priority times. Additionally, we will advise you around our recognition of prior learning opportunities so you can apply for specified and unspecified credit. And we are working on a framework for that. And then as well as we have Grant and Matt and a couple of other leaders in our student group working towards a club, ADSA, the Australian Defence Student Association. So beyond that, there's actually hundreds of clubs and great things to join at the university for that social connection. But yeah, ADSA is going to be one just for you.
Alrighty, so we're going to touch here upon the financial support. And I know we've got a question about this in the chat, so we'll be able to get into that as well. So first and foremost, you out there are all eligible for a scholarship. So people often think of scholarships as, oh, am I at sort of one end of the continuum as an academic, or am I sort of, at some sort of a disadvantage? And maybe you are in either of those things, but it's also for everybody else in the middle. So studying while transitioning from service can bring some financial pressure, especially because you're investing in your future. We get that. So scholarships provide vital support to help cover things like not just tuition, but living expenses and study-related costs. So it might be a new laptop or something like that. So whether you're a current or former ADF member, there are scholarships tailored to your background and goals so that you can just focus more on learning and really just and less on the finances and, can I make this work? So we had a great question in there about the DAS, or the Defence Assisted Study Scheme. So at the moment, it supports you need to be current, so still serving ADF members undertaking approved study, and it offers financial assistance and also study leave, which is also really helpful. So it's a great way to build qualifications that align with your career goals in both defence and beyond. So the first thing to do is have a chat to your team leader about how this might work. But this is the detail. So this applies for CIRCAT 6 and 7, as you are. Now, for CIRCAT 3, 4, and 5 members, like the question that we had, you must be a CervOp C. So you must have that category around you as a CIRCAT 5. So as a reservist, unfortunately, because I'm not a CervOp C, I'm not eligible. However, if you are on a CervOp C, provided the study is undertaken within completing that period of the CFTS, that's fine. So that's the caveat around it. However, there are things that we can do, like the normal scholarships, etc., to try and still give you that financial support. But for example, if you're doing postgrad, you can get up to nearly $5,000 a course. So it's really going to make a difference. And we know it's just a matter of asking. It's only going to show that you're being proactive and you're keen, and it's a conversation that really could change things things for the better. So another excuse to do this study while you're still serving, because that's how the funding works. So yeah. The last thing just to touch upon, you might be sitting there thinking, you know, I've got someone on the fence about first time going to uni, and they might be thinking about ADFA versus, say, coming to another university. So if you are looking to do a degree in health engineering or some other priority areas, the Defence University Sponsorship, or the DUS, that actually offers financial support while you're doing your studies. So through ADF Careers, you actually can choose the university of your choice. So you could come to Newcastle if you're here at Williamtown, study with us, and then post that study, you then give back service in the same amount of years +1. But there's funding around it, and it's starting your defence journey. So please think about that as well, if you're also a future student in that category.
Thanks, Peter. And actually, there's also some really great support out there for our veterans. So there is the Study to Succeed with 5 to Study, created by the Department of Veteran Affairs and the ACU, actually, university. But it's for everyone and anyone studying at university. And if you feel like it's, you know, like you're starting over, trying to get into that rhythm, then you can, obviously we will really want you to use the skills that you've developed in defence to get the best out of your studies. And this 5 to Study is here to help you successfully move from defence to civilian life and get the best out of your studies and reduce or remove any transition stress. So highly recommend Googling that and accessing the web. It's got an extensive amount of information on there for you to support you.
All right, you're doing well, guys. We're nearly there at the fun part of the webinar. So just to close this section, I guess, we do have a lot of family support because, once again, we know most military families come as a package. So our educational access scheme means children could get up to 4 adjustment points if they're applying for university, if you have experienced some sort of educational or other disadvantage. Our Open Foundation pathway is also eligible, sort of mentioned before, for children who are 17 and above, whose secondary schooling might have been interrupted by, you know, postings, deployments, etc. So keep that in mind, because you might have some other teenagers in your house that might be, you know, this is also great news for them, and we could do it together. And as Laura mentioned before, that New Prep is available for partners and children. You only need to be 16 and older. So some of my high school students are tapping into New Prep for subjects they did not pick as electives in year 11 and 12, but they've realised the course they want to do might have a prerequisite or, you know, that assumed knowledge. And that's where this really helps as well. So yeah, get everybody involved and get their buy-in, and it can be a family affair.
Thanks, Peter. And so now we're very lucky to hear from 2 current students, Matt and Grant. So Matt, I'm going to throw over to you first. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt's having some difficulty at the moment. Right, so it'll be me first up. Right, my name's Grant Lewine. I enrolled in university. I was medically discharged. Actually, I'll back it up. Done 25 years in defence. Left ADF as the rank of sergeant as an infantry soldier. I'd done 4 deployments. I'd worked in the part-time space as well as the full-time space in the ADF and Army, all as an infantry soldier. Yeah. Right. I started then on my journey. I was medically discharged at the start of 2025. From there, I started my journey into university, where I started 2 subjects in a Bachelor of Education secondary. From there, I then reached out to 3 subjects, 4 subjects, and sort of built it from there. The whole reason why I chose a Bachelor of Education is I enjoyed training soldiers. Always have, always will. Also, I've got a great passion in leadership and leading people as well. So I left defence with a advanced diploma in leadership right, which is really quite handy and it's really quite well. But that's assisted me into going into a Bachelor of Education as well. My whole plan at the moment to do my degree is to become a high school teacher teaching modern history and also society and culture. So my ADF background will help me going into modern history and understanding conflict and how it's shaped Australia to where we are today, all the way through to society and culture. You good? Cool. So that shaped me going down the path in relation to high school teaching and stuff like that. Eventually I want to come back and do my master's in education, and then hopefully get into those higher, more leadership positions within education. With veteran transition, it's hard. That first 12 months from leaving the ADF to that first 12 months is the loss of your own sense of purpose. So I lost my complete sense of purpose. So I went from being a platoon sergeant running platoons at the School of Infantry, doing all that sort of stuff, hard training and everything like that, to nothing. So university gave me an opportunity to enroll, to get out of bed, to get to university, do my studies. I had assignments I had to complete. There was lectures I had to attend. So that assisted me literally getting back to normal life and dealing with people laugh at this, normal people. So people that have never worn a uniform in their lives, to then talking to there and being treated very differently as well. I'm pretty passionate about the veteran space, pretty passionate about the Australian Defence Student Association, and just that brotherhood, sisterhood of looking after one another. So if one of us is struggling, we'll pick that person up, brush them off and everything like that. The Australian Defence Student Association isn't going to be really uptight. We want to make it a fun, happy, jokey sort of environment where we can sort of get together, have a coffee, have a coffee or meet up for dinner or something like that, and just be a very casual things. If you're a family member, come as well, right? The door is open. If you're a family member, a spouse, we're here to support you as well, because it is hard without having a spouse and stuff there, right? And them being unsupported. So our doors are open for the association for everyone. You good, Matt? Right, bro.
Sorry, Matt, we can't hear you. I'm not sure. It's being cheeky on you still.
How about now?
There you go. We're good.
Oh, crying out. Yeah. Hello. Let's try that again. All right. Hi, my name's Matt. I did 18 years in the Army, medically discharged 2018. And then, yeah, as Grant was saying, purpose, looking for that purpose in life. I wanted to, do some study, but I wasn't sure how to go about it. I didn't finish high school, although I walked out of defence with 2 advanced diplomas. And then I got a diploma in library services through TAFE. After defence, I really wasn't sure about where I wanted to go with further study. I did Open Foundation, and I swear by it. So if you're like me, where you're not sure, or you did study ages ago and you're just unsure about how well you're going to go, I've just finished my first year of a Bachelor of Arts, major in Indigenous Studies. If I hadn't have done Open Foundation last year, I reckon I would have floundered this year. So I swear by Open Foundation. You can knock it over in 6 months, or I took 12 months to do it. That's up to you. But I swear by it. Highly recommend Open Foundation. Get stuck into it. So yeah, end of my first year of Bachelor of Arts, major Global Indigenous Studies. Thoroughly enjoying it, having a really great time. Campus life is fantastic. There's gym, there's cafes, restaurant, There's heaps of social areas. The library, our community library, it's a fantastic place. The library is not just a place to go and borrow books. That's just scraping the surface of a massive machine. Campus life is fantastic. Some people, like, depending on their lifestyle, they might choose to do online. That's great. But if you can, do face-to-face stuff, because face-to-face is totally different. Coming on campus and experiencing campus life is just, it's a whole new world. And you start to meet people. That's a great thing about it. Getting involved in student organisations. It's great that we've stood up this the Defence Student Association this year, because if you're going to start studying next year, be it a degree, open foundation, whatever, and if you need someone to talk to, like, there's heaps of information in the presentation today, something like, what is Canvas? How do I read a course outline? Come along and talk to us. We'll sit down, we'll grab a coffee, and we'll work things out and have a chat, have a great time. I think I've covered everything and used up my time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks very much.
Amazing. Thank you to you both. That was really, really great. Yeah, so informative. So I guess everyone's kind of thinking, where to from here? So we really recommend, if you're thinking about on campus or your local study, so on-campus study, or if you're local, come on a campus tour. We do those every Friday of the month. And we've got a few to register for at the moment. So we also then really recommend reviewing the programs, obviously, checking out what is the dream program that I want to study, review the handbook online on our webpage. If you need any help, email us. I'll have that info up shortly. And obviously check your eligibility, find out what your selection rank equivalency is. And so that means you can then work out, okay, this program is a 67, I'm a 73, I am very competitive, so I'm, ready to apply. To do that, obviously, we've really stressed you do need your service record long. That actually can take a little while from what I understand. So to apply now, and then apply to us directly if you can, unless you're in that little suite of programs where you can't, and then you would apply through UAC. Sorry, Peter, I've jumped into your slide.
Yeah, I love it. Keep going.
So I really then recommend getting excited. Think about the new prep, the transition support, because as I said, you can start accessing it before you start studying. And then also maybe apply for credit. If you've been in defence for a while, which so many people that I've met from defence have been, get those duty statements, get those PARs, those performance appraisal reports, and apply for informal credit. See what we can get you. We may also have a framework by then. But yeah, if you can knock 1 or 2 courses off your study, then that's a little bit of money saved and a little bit of time. And then obviously get ready to start your program. So start that learning journey. As you've heard, that can change. You can swap degrees halfway. Maybe you really love what the person your study buddy's been studying, and you want to swap. That's what happens. And we're just excited to be here to support you with your study journey.
So next steps, so key dates to remember. So our next campus tour is on the 12th of December. Kicks off 10 a.m. here at Callaghan. It's there on the website and a little bit later on in the city. Make sure you look at the program you want to study first. It will in the handbook or on the website, which is your source of truth. And there's so much detail on the website, even into the detail of each year, what you'll be studying, the majors, the minors. So have fun with that. It's a rabbit warren, but you'll love digging deep the more you look. But yeah, with campus tours, they last about an hour and a half, and that's what my team lead. So we'll see you there, and get on campus and just start having a look around and chatting to the team. The main things to remember is that on the 9th of January, our semester 1 direct applications close. So that's that direct entry, the free one, just throw in your 3 preferences. So, You know, when it comes to, I know things are wrapping up at the end of the year and people are starting to ask you, so what's your plans for 2026? And you might see someone at Christmas time this year, you know, give them a nudge and just say do it. You've still got time. So it's not like a tomorrow thing, but it will be here before you know it, that you've got that time to do that research and really think about 2026. The 11th of January is when the UAC round applications close. And you don't want to leave that too long, because from the 27th of January, we will start our courses for semester 1 and trimester 1. So the difference there with semesters for undergraduate degrees, and our trimesters are what we call for postgrad. But yeah, late January is when we kick off, and you've still got time to do something about it for next year.
Great, thanks, Peter. So this is actually our last slide before our Q&A. So that's great. We've managed to do it in time. I thought we might waffle a bit more. So I did just want to remind everyone, so I'm Laura Hudson, this is Peter Purcell. We are part of the Defence Pathway team. We're here to support you. It does say veteran support at newcastle.edu.au, but it is also for current members. That's our website there as well, and the QR code will actually take you to it directly. And we've got our Ask You and phone number up as well, but email probably is best to start the chat. We always welcome a meeting as well, or a tour. So yeah, but start the chat with us today if you have any questions, either via the email, or we've got some open questions now. So did anyone want to ask a question?
And I'm happy to go first in case people are still thinking of their questions. So boys, I know you talked about your clubs and societies and, you know, getting involved and things. I was part of the tennis club when I first joined here at uni, and I think they ripped out the tennis courts 12 months later, but that tennis club met every Monday for 3 years running, and we still got together and we did things. But did you know that there's a garlic bread appreciation association, and we've also got other things to do with uni sport. So just wanted to point out, you know, I know ADF sport's a big part of that sort of, you know, outside of work, and we do the same thing here as well. So whether it's, and I actually ran into the gym with Matt today, that was funny, but you know, that sort of social and well-being aspect of uni life is just as important, but you will find your tribe in terms of other interests, I guess. Yeah. But Matt, what would you, I can see you, Matt, so I'm just saying something here. Matt, what would you say to your former self? Like, what's the one piece of advice if you were sitting here listening to this, saying, should I do it? What would you just say?
Without getting struck by copyright, just do it. Yeah, just dive in. You do something like Open Foundation. It's free. If that's all you want to do is just Open Foundation, and you just tick that box and walk away from that, that's it. That's sensational. You've done that. You've experienced tertiary education, and you've got a flash bit of paper that says you've done that, and that's something that's nationally recognised. So if you did want to study later on at a different university, whatever, you've got that bit of paper. Yeah, you won't regret it. Open Foundation, do that. If you want to get stuck into a degree, really challenge yourself. There's so many support programs. You know, think back to high school, first day of high school. Oh, I'm going to get bashed up, my head's going to get flushed. Come to university, you're gonna be anxious about, you know, your first day, heaps of people, strange place, but there are so many support networks to help you through. Yeah, just do it.
Brilliant answer. Thank you.
Come on, Grant, your turn.
Rightio. What I would have to say is, when I went through high school and stuff like that, I was clearly the sporty kid. That's the reason why I ended up in the occupation I ended up in. Yeah, coming to university and stuff like that. Yeah, coming to university and was a bit of a leap, a bit of a change. right? But in my PARs, there's probably a lot of senior NCOs out there. There's a little part down there where it says written and oral communications. Now, my oral communications was good, but it was always the written stuff. So majors and lieutenant colonels used to pin me. It's like, you need to work on your written communication. It wasn't until I come to university that I went into the next level, and then my PAR in that level went a lot better. So I'm still on my learning path and everything on the way there. But it helps me becoming a high school teacher is the fact is that I've lived this extraordinary life before, and now I'm going into a high school, which then all the naughty boys sitting in the horror corridors, right? I can relate to them because I was that naughty boy sitting in the corridor. But yeah, it creates a different, but university, it has been the support I get, the people I've met, it is just brilliant. I can't fault it there. The lecturers are always willing to help. They're not like the instructors in the army and go, oh, you'll be right, mate. Just work it out as you go, right? They'll help you and assist you to get that next level. You go, I want to get a distinction. Yep, no dramas, mate. I'll help you get there. So that's another thing. Tenfold. Can't fault the lecturers. I can't fault the tutes, the pass, the peer assisted study groups. Awesome. Just awesome. Yeah, I can't talk to the university much more than that. I'm also the student ambassador as well. So all those guys that are veterans or ADF members and stuff like that are coming into university to study to take it to the next level, hey, reach out, communicate with me. I'll come have a coffee, have a chat with you at all. Even if you're struggling in university, reach out. You're a veteran or anyone, reach out, touch base, and yeah, we'll move forward together. There you go.
Amazing. Thank you. Such a good answer too. Thank you. Thank you. So we did have a live question. Nicole, I'm sorry, we just can't see it. Do you mind reading it out? And then I think Peter and I can help answer it.
Hi, sure. There was a question, and let me find it, asking how do you enroll to ADF from your course if you're already enrolled? So I just would like to clarify from this person if they're interested in enrolling in defence, enlisting in defence, and if they're perhaps already a student at the University of Newcastle. So I'll wait for them to come back. But did you guys want to quickly talk about how to get involved with defence if you're not already?
So if we're assuming that's the case, and look, I meet people all the time at career expos, and a funny story was there's often the university information table, and then you'll have ADF careers next to us, and that's actually we often have a lot of students come up to us and they say, oh, look, I'm sorry, Ms. I know uni is really important, but I really want to join the ADF. And they do have, as we said, the DUS or the Defence University Sponsorship Program. So from what I understand, you need to enroll in uni, which you've already done tick. And then once you've proven that you've started your course and you've committed, I think you might need to get your first round of marks early in semester 1 to show that you're passing and you're coming along and all the things. Then ADF can put through the process of you enrolled in that program or the DUS, and they will monitor your marks as you go. That is, Nicole sort of alluded to, it's an agreement. So worst case scenario, if you decide 3 years into your degree that no, ADF is now no longer for me, it's just a matter of it defaults back to that hex or any other, the way that you would normally have paid it anyway. So you've got nothing to lose by looking into it.
And I do just want to stress that unfortunately we're not experts in the Defence Assisted Study Scheme or the Defence University Scholarship. That is definitely a defence's processes. So ADF Careers is the best person to talk to or group to talk to about that. And then if you're a defence member, it's your
intranet actually has all the information about DAS. I did look it up, and I'm happy to, if you want to drop us an email to that veteran at email address, we can actually sort of flick you the screenshot and where to find it. But yeah, it's actually something internal that you can find. And your transition team, they're the first ones to shoot through this info and walk you through the steps too.
So that's the Joint Transition Authority, isn't it? Yeah.
That's
Great.
for all 3 codes. So yes.
Yeah. Great. Are there any other questions? Oh, is there one?
I'm just looking here. And we know we've just got a theme here that might help. This might be really helpful. But we've answered this, but what kind of support can we get if you are deployed or you need to go on an exercise mid-semester? Is there some sort of extension or flexible acknowledgement? So yeah, this is what we are looking at. At the current moment, we have something similar for elite athletes. So this is the easiest way to kind of explain it. Just, we have Olympians going, to Paris 2024, and my assignment's due in the middle of my competition. Sorry, to the teacher, I'm not going to make it. And that's, a fair dinkum, not excuse, but, we know that forward planning and we can work around it. So with proof from defence, we can accommodate those needs and talk about flexibility with timings, potentially priority with placements and things as well. But it's definitely something to look into. So yes. Just looking at other things that might benefit people. Yeah, we also talked about the CIRCAT 5 accessing the DAS. So unfortunately, because I was looking at doing some more study and I did look into this, but I'm currently not doing a CFTS. But if that chance does come up, then jump on it. Nicole, is there anything else that we might have missed or the group would benefit from going over?
No, I think you've captured it all. There was lots of questions about defence assisted scholarships, but again, we're not the expert. We're just pointing you back to the relevant places within defence to talk about those. They are specific to your specific situation. If you've got any questions that arise post this, contact us on veteransupport@newcastle.edu.au, and of course you'll get this sent out to you as well so you can refer back to it.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. I'll just take us back to that page just so you can QR code it if you need again.
And the great thing about the website, we got so excited when we saw this drop-down tool, it really points out the ranks, even from, for example, being an aircrafts woman in the Air Force. It's a very lucrative score to go shopping with in our ATARs on the website. So, a sergeant level with the years required is around a 92, which is very good. If you think doing the HSC again and scoring that mark, it's in the 70s after a year of service at that entry level rank. So, and this is a way that we are acknowledging, we need defence members and how important your work is. And this is what you're also setting yourself up to do. So get excited when you see that eligibility and those rank equivalents, because I think it's probably more than what you realise.
Thanks, Peter. Okay, so we've hit 6 o'clock. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And do touch base if you have any further questions. Thank you to Matt and Grant so much for joining and Nicole for helping us out. Hooroo, everyone.